In this video, I'm going to show you a few simple modifications every Glock owner should do to take your pistol from average to high performer. So stay tuned.
Yeah, the other teams are moving in the background.
Welcome back, Carlos here with Range 11 Tactical. On this channel, we create content full of useful tips, techniques, and or drills just like this one to help you build and or expand your tactical knowledge base. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Alright, so we're talking about Glocks. This is by far one of my favorite pistols. They're relatively inexpensive, extremely reliable, and pretty easy to shoot. 65% of US law enforcement agencies issue these to their officers and agents. So it goes without saying, this is by far one of the best tactical pistols out there. However, there are two things I do to every Glock pretty much the second I take it out of the box. Number one is replace the sights, and number two is a little bit of trigger work. Both things we can do at home for minimal cost. So let's zoom in and take a look at these mods. Alright, let's talk about sights. This is one of the first upgrades I do. Simply remove those stock plastic sights, knock out the rear, remove the front sight post, and replace with your choice of metal sights. This is actually an option from Glock. It's their night sight variant. They have the tritium inserts in the rear and front, so something like this wouldn't be a bad option. You could also purchase your own aftermarket sights. These are Ameriglow, same as that one. They have the tritium inserts, but I like this one because it has that high vis front sight post. Dawson Precision also makes a really good sight. Your options are endless when it comes to sights. Just remove those stock plastic sights for your choice of metal sights and you'll be set. Alright, triggers. This is where the magic happens. In my opinion, there's no need to go out and buy a fancy $200, $300 trigger insert. They're just not worth the price tag. You'll notice that by simply replacing a few of the components with aftermarket ones and polishing a few of the internals, you'll take this stock trigger and make it super smooth, super efficient. Before we break this pistol down and show you the mods, I'm going to do a quick trigger pull test to get us a starting point on this straight out of the box Glock, and then we'll go from there. Alright, let's do a quick pull test so we can get a starting point on where we're at. Alright, so this one registered right at, can't know if you can see that, but 5.5 pounds of pressure on the trigger pull, which is exactly where Glock advertised these to be. So that's our starting point. Let's get into the mods and see where we can take this. Alright, so I have the Glock completely disassembled. Basically, there's two things that need to happen from here. I need to polish some of these components, and I need to replace a few parts. Starting off with the polish, here's what I use. It's Mother's Mag Aluminum Polish. You get this at any Walmart in the automotive section. That in conjunction with your standard Dremel and your Dremel bits here with the cotton tip there to polish the metal. If you look at the way I have this broken down, everything on this half of the table here are all the components that go with the receiver or the frame, and then everything on this half here have to do with the slide. The parts in the middle are the only parts that I actually polish. Anywhere there is metal to metal contact is where you need to polish. So starting with the receiver side, I'm going to do, of course, the locking bar, the trigger bar in its entirety, focusing on this area here on both sides and right around here. And we'll also do the connector. In this case, I'm going to replace it with an aftermarket connector, but I will polish this one too before replacing it. On the slide side of the house, I'm going to do the firing pin, focusing on this area here. I will do the firing pin safety and the extractor depressor plunger. So 3 parts on the frame, 3 parts on the receiver. Super simple. Let's get to polishing and show you what that looks like. Alright, now we're all set. Everything's nice and polished, as you can see. So now it's just 2 components that I actually replaced. Number one is the connector. So this is the factory connector. I replace it with this double diamond 3.5 connector. I've already polished this one. That's why it's out of the box. But this is a 3.5 connector. I buy it from the Glock store. I have no affiliation with the Glock store, but I've been using these connectors for multiple years. I've never had an issue. I think they're awesome connectors. So all you do with that is you take your new connector, insert it where the old one was, just like so. And you are set now with your new 3.5 pound connector. All right, so the other thing that I changed on the Gen 5s, on the Gen 4s and 3s, you can actually change this spring too, but on the Gen 5s, I only changed this. It's the firing pin spring. I buy this kit also from the Glock store. It's their competition spring kit. This is an awesome little kit. Let me open it up, show you what it comes with. So it brings a couple of different springs. So it brings your 2-pound spring. I don't know if you can see that there. Let me zoom in on it. So it brings a little 2-pound spring, a 3-pound spring, 4, 4.5, and a 6, right? I usually go either with the 3 or the 4 when it comes on my everyday carry pistols, and then I'll use like a 2 or even sometimes a 3 when it comes to more of that competition. I'll show you here in a minute how to replace that, and then we'll assemble it and see where we're at. All right, perfect. So now let's just, it's a matter of changing out the spring. So here's the old firing pin spring. I'm gonna start off with this 4-pound spring. So I actually use the slide to assist me. So I'll take the firing pin, insert it into the spacer sleeve, and then I'll actually use the slide to assist me. I'll insert it kind of sideways there so it holds it in place. Then I'll take the new spring, and then now it's just a matter of putting the spring cups in there. I'll do one at a time. So let me do the first one there. Grab the second one here. This is the tricky part to put these in, especially with gloves. All right, perfect. Now they're both in. And now my firing pin is all reassembled. Like I said, I started off with this kind of 4-pound spring, but you can go to the 3.5, 2, you know, it doesn't matter if just, now you got to reassemble it, feel it out, and just trial and error on see which kind of spring pressure you like the best. So let's assemble it and see where we're at. All right, so I got it all assembled. Now it's just a matter of retesting it. So let's do a quick trigger pull test, see where we sit. Hold it there. Let's go back, see if we need to make any more modifications or if we're good where we're at. All right, it broke right at 3.5 pounds. So that's exactly where I want to be. So the 4-pound firing pin spring with the 3.5 pound new connector. It feels super smooth as well, so I am very happy how this turned out. Okay, so that's it. Couple simple DIY mods you can do to make your Glock sing. Check out the description below because I've left detailed instructions and included part numbers for easy ordering. As always, leave me a comment down below if you found this information valuable, and consider subscribing to catch my latest videos. With that, stay safe and train hard.